like to remind us of a thing that I'm sure most of us know. And these are a few supplementary points I felt I should add before we move on. I'll probably, with permission of the organizers, just take another 10 minutes if you don't mind. Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine.
All right, thank you. So I'd like to start with a story we all, I hope, know, the goose that laid the golden egg, the farmer and the goose. Very briefly, the farmer had a goose that laid golden eggs, and then he sold, he made money, he was getting greedy, he needed more eggs, he couldn't wait, and he killed the goose and found there was no more eggs inside the goose. And that was the end of the goose that laid the golden egg. Tragic ending. If you are the farmer who had a goose that laid golden eggs, you probably take better care of the goose. You probably feed the goose better. Here, it's important to look at yourself as the goose that lays the golden eggs. What kind of golden eggs can you lay? And how do you take care of yourself? What do you build? There's a book called The Speed of Trust by Stephen R. Covey. I would like to encourage us to read. It's a very good book. For anybody in management, it's a very good book. But three things I want to emphasize when it comes to building yourself. When we're talking about you as a goose to lay golden eggs, your most important golden eggs are in form of three personal issues: your character, your attitude, your competence. So please remember those three. CAC, not Corporate Affairs Commission, but really, if you want to get certified in life, you need these three. Good character, you need to build it. Good attitude, good competence. If you lack any one of them, you have removed a huge turbo engine from your speed of progress in life. If you have these three, people trust you. If you lack one, they find it difficult to trust. Character, absolutely important. Attitude is character is what you are at your core. You know, what you are at your core, what your wife knows about you, what your children know about you, what people who are going to have long-term relationships with you will get to know. And if that's faulty, you will not have very long-term relationships that are healthy. Attitude, your ability to work with people. You know how to speak, you know how to be polite, you know how to be positive. And competence, the skills. You are good at what you do. If you lack any one of these, unfortunately, it'll be difficult for people to trust you. So what kind of a person are you? Do you have these three? Competence, character, and attitude. So please, when we talk about building your capacity building, attend programs that will help you build your character, attend programs that will help you build your attitude, attend programs that will help you build your competence, training programs, anything to help you with education and skills to build greater competence. Remember to try and be the best you can be of yourself. The top 20% of every profession, the top 20% of every profession are never jobless. Please remember that. If you can join the top 20% in your profession, just build your character, build your attitude, build your competence, and you can join the top 20%. Some are the best, but because of character problems, they just get off the race. Nobody wants them. They've got good competence. They're the best computer engineers. They're the best electricians. They're the best mechanics. They're the best doctors. But character faults, and nobody wants to work with them. Or attitude problems. They can't work with others, so they can't benefit from synergy and go beyond their limits. So please work towards being the best version of yourself. And in whatever profession, take a habit of building your capacity. Belong to the top 20%. And focus on learning, not earning. Focus on learning, not earning. If you've got a job, let the money be the side effect. That's the byproduct of your working. The main product of your working is learning to be better. If you can be the best, you will keep that job. If you keep focusing on the salary, and you, instead of focusing on, just how can I get a bigger salary, instead of how can I do my job better, how can I learn better, you become like somebody who is playing basketball and keeps looking at the scoreboard instead of just play a good game. Let the board be, that's the side effect of a good game. So focus on learning, not earning. Work more than you are paid, and you will eventually be paid more than you work. There's a story I want to share, and I'd like to encourage you to read the book Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. Acres of Diamonds is about a man called Ali Hafiz, who was a farmer who was content and happy, and he was happy and content. But then he got to learn about diamonds, and suddenly he wanted diamonds. He sold his farm, went all over the place in search of diamonds, eventually died. Of course, he had sold his land and house and everything to others. And one of the shepherds he had sold his land to one day was giving some water to his sheep, and then he saw a strange looking stone. He stooped up, picked it up, looked like a crystal. He then gave it to somebody who knew about jewelry, and the guy said, "Wow, this is a diamond. Where did you get it from? This is very, very valuable." He said, "Oh, I got it on my land when I was giving my sheep water. Now, can we go and see it?" He goes and looks at the place, and he finds another one, and another one, and another one. And that's when he said, "Subhanallah, Ali Hafiz went in search of diamonds. He didn't know he was living on acres of diamonds." I'd like to touch about this whole issue of the grass being greener on the other side of the fence. Many of us believe the grass is greener elsewhere. Please, when you say the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, to whom? You look at it that the future of my prosperity is going to be when I get to travel out of Nigeria. But then there are other people who believe their prosperity is when they come to Nigeria. You've got Germans, Julius Berger, coming to Nigeria to make money. Chinese coming to Nigeria to make money. South Africans coming to Nigeria to make money. Everybody wants to come to Nigeria to make money, but Nigerians want to go out to make money. What's wrong? Is the grass really greener on the other side of the fence? People risk lives escaping Nigeria. The next migrant coming into Lagos, into Minna, into Kano, there's always somebody else coming. We call him a settler, and he's going to be a millionaire in the next few years. And he's going to be a local millionaire. He'll make his millions from the city you're in. So sometimes all we need to do is, think differently. Stop taking the local for granted. It's good to think globally, but good to think locally too. Please don't join complainers and those who see no good in the local, no good in the native, no good in home-owned or homegrown, homemade. Look at the blessings that are disguised around. Learn the mistakes of others. Learn lessons. As the Prophet said, every misfortune that befalls a community is khair. Look at all the problems you have and ask yourself, every problem, every complaint is a statement of a problem that needs to be solved. And you can make money solving problems. Beware of spending too much time on news. Most news is negative and not really helping you become better at building yourself as a goose that is to lay better quality golden eggs, not just bronze or clay eggs, no, golden eggs. It says, mediocre minds talk about others. Average minds talk about events. Great minds talk about ideas. News is usually about people and events. It's usually mediocre or average. So please don't spend too much time on the latest news, the latest WhatsApp. Be the first to know. You don't have to be the first to know. It makes no difference whether you know if it's not useful knowledge. I'm not saying all news is useless, but please, in my life, and I'm not saying I'm the best model at all in this area, but a lot of news I've not found really useful, and not knowing it has not harmed me to the best of my ability. I have people who, if something is useful, I can ask, hey, anything on the news today worth knowing? No, thank you. I didn't need to do all the filtering. It's always important to ask, what do others see? What do others see about Nigeria? Can you look, can you listen, can you ask, can you consult? What opportunities are you missing? So as we said, think globally, act locally, but also think locally and act locally. Think locally and act locally. Many people from outside come and they have to start learning how to think locally. Some of us just take our own for granted. Look for bright spots where things are working. In every industry, somebody is making it. So how can you say, there's no money to be made in the oil industry? It's already saturated. There's no money to be made in the hotel industry. It's all saturated. There's no money to be made in the catering. There's no money. Every day there's a new person starting a new business. And everybody who started a business will tell you there were others doing and I also joined. But he gave superior golden eggs. Why? Build competence, build character, build attitude. Synergize, try and cooperate. When you set up companies, when you set up foundations, please try and see if you can do things that will outlast you. Sometimes if you put your name behind a foundation, when you die, it's dead, sometimes. So you may find that a foundation becomes a sadaqah jariyah, an institution is ready to live after you, if it's actually a collaboration, something that easily, they say, if you don't care who takes the credit, you can achieve nearly anything you want to achieve in life. So think twice about the kind of credits you want to take for things. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong in it. I'm just saying you could do more good if you had a more neutral name. Avoid excuses and excusiology. Avoid pessimists. Pessimists call themselves realists. Travel as much as you can. Browse, search for knowledge. How do others do things? If there's a problem here, how is it solved in other places? There's a statement I learned from a friend. He said, if you try to meet the needs of the rich, you'll be a millionaire. If you try to also meet the needs of the poor, you'll be a billionaire. Look at the poor, learn what people want. There's a reason why people are putting things in sachets and making it available for the poor. Cornflakes in sachets, toothpaste in sachets, peak milk in sachets, sugar in sachets. If you can meet the needs of the poor, Indomie is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Lipton, Microsoft, Dangote, the billionaires all try to meet the needs of the poor also. Discover a market and provide a good service. How many people, do you see looking at things? So firstly, sorry for jumping this, I'm trying to go quickly here, but discover a market and provide a good or a service. Too many people do this the other way around. They develop a good, they develop a service they're passionate about, and then try to market it and spend a lot of time trying to manufacture desire and spending much time on marketing. If there's already a problem on the ground, if there's already a demand for something, if people are already complaining about something, then you probably have already been told what to go into. You'll have more success if you see a desire and then try to meet it. So listen to what people are angry about, what they are complaining about. Be a problem solver. That's when you make it. And look at what profession you're good at, and we'll come back to this very briefly. Remember, knowledge is more important than capital. Knowledge is more important than capital. Lack of capital is a common excuse for some people not starting a business venture. But how often have you heard people keep saying you need money in order to make money? That's nonsense. We have many wealthy people who started with nothing but a good idea. With the character, attitude, competence, and other people invested money in your good idea. So you don't need money to start idea. If you're ready to cooperate with people, you've got a good idea. Other people are able to put in the money. And you've got many people waiting to put money down. So don't put yourself down. Don't belittle your environment. Don't keep joining people who insult Nigeria. It's a useless country. Nothing works, blah, blah, blah. No. What is it that doesn't work? Can you fix it? Then you've got an opportunity. It's a heaven of opportunity. Don't compare yourself with others. Believe in the great opportunities that are right here, not over there in New York, in China, in some other country, etc., but here, whether for business, for anything else that is worth living for in this world. There was never an opportunity greater. And when we talk about take advantage, find the best in what's around you before others do. Why? Somebody else is going to come and see that opportunity and start a business, start a shop, selling a particular good, a service, solving a problem that you decided or you didn't stop to think about. Each of us is in the middle of their own acres of diamonds. I repeat, each one of us is in their own area. All I, as Nurudeen Lemu, have to do is build my competence, build my character, build my attitude in what I do best. Provide a better service as best as I can. Be humble, be curious, be sincere, be committed. And I actually find I'm on acres of diamonds. And people are ready to pay me well because I try to offer my best. So if only you would realize it and develop the ground you're already standing on before you go off in search of greener pastures, you already are on greener pastures. Remember, which of your Allah's favors will you deny? Opportunity doesn't just come along. No, it's already here. It's there all the time. We just haven't seen it. Somebody else is going to come and see it. So recognize Allah's rahmah and search for the good that's already around you. So before you give up what is you already have, make sure that wherever where you are, that what you are getting is better than what you already have. I'm not saying don't go and study overseas if there's a better course, a better teacher, a better educational system somewhere. But regarding opportunities for fulfilling your careers, please don't look down upon what's already around. Remember, family come first. They are part of your support structure. They can help you through most of the difficulties. A lot of them have contacts who can invest if they want. Take care of good friends. This is why character and attitude are really important. I'll conclude, sorry, moderator, for chopping too much time again. I'll conclude with this hedgehog strategy very quickly. And I'll actually maybe I'll wrap this up faster than I thought. Do online search for your hedgehog strategy or hedgehog concept. A brief story about a fox that wanted to eat a hedgehog. He was told it was the most delicious. Every time he tried to pursue the hedgehog just, went into a ball, just had its own strategy. The fox never got to try the hedgehog. The fox always had many ideas. The hedgehog had perfected its one strategy. For you, what is your hedgehog? What is it that is in the middle of your strategy? It's important that you try and identify these three. What are you interested in? What are your skills? And what does society demand? And what is in the middle? The reason why this is important is because there are always those things, and I'll start here. When you say, what can you be the best in the world at? What can you be the best in the world at? Is it communication of a particular thing? Is it doing? Is it a skill? What can you be the best in the world at? What's your natural gift from Allah? Number two, what drives your economic engine? What's worth it? What makes money? What do people want? What can you add value to that's valuable? And then look at what are you deeply passionate about? And what is that thing? So make a list of all of these, and see which one do all the three circles intersected. Another way of looking at it is, what are you genuinely passionate about? What are you genetically encoded for? What you're good at? And what can you be paid for? What can you be paid well to do? If you look at something you're passionate about and you can be paid for it, it's just a dream if you don't have the competence. Sorry. If you look for something you're passionate about and you are really good at, that's a hobby if it doesn't pay money. If you look for something you're really good at and you'll be paid for, but you have no passion for it, then you'll be rich but bored, unhappy. This is another way of looking at it. What can you do? Where are skills and opportunities? What are those things you have competence in? What are those things you really are passionate about doing? What creates value? Another way of putting the same thing. So I'll just suggest, look for what is your hedgehog concept. Just do online search, hedgehog concept. The need to focus on that hedgehog concept. If you keep moving a magnifying glass, you will not burn anything. If you keep it still under the sun, then you can burn. It's interesting, people have artwork that they use the sun's rays. They stay very still and use this form of pyrographics, they call it, using magnifying glasses, and they produce beautiful artwork. So focus, keep the magnifying glass still, have sabr, have massive energy, concentrate, avoid distractions, have grit, tenacity, persistence, try and clock as many hours. They say if you can spend 10,000 hours on good practice, not useless practice, good practice, you will become world-class in anything. If you can spend 8,000 hours in any good practice, you will be national standard, some even international. 6,000 hours in a particular thing, you're really good in that area. 4,000 hours, you can be a good teacher. So, spend hours, persistence. And this is the kind of art that somebody has been able to make just using a magnifying glass under the sun. So to conclude, Be proactive, go and open doors yourself, light candles, trust in Allah, move, initiate, don't wait. Do what you can where you are with what you have, and do it now. Don't keep waiting. And I'll end by encouraging us, never will anything be attempted if all possible objections must be overcome. So whether any aspect of your life, don't say till there's problem. There's always problem with everything. And successful people are those who make a habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people don't do.